the bathroom trap rigged? Yes, it was rigged, but not intentionally. The way the trap is supposed to go, you have Dr. Gordon and Adam, who are locked in this gross bathroom. They don't know where they are, and then there appears to be an unalived body on the ground. They listen to some audio tapes, and they say that Dr. Gordon has to unalive Adam by a certain time, or else he's going to be locked in here forever. Adam is not told a way that he can escape the bathroom. If we fast forward a little bit to the end of the movie, Dr. Gordon does not unalive Adam, but Dr. Gordon does find a way out of the room. He says he's going to come back for Adam, although he never does, which is another point for another day. But in this moment, Adam is left alone, chained in the bathroom, when the unalived body gets up and is still alive, and it's the Jigsaw Killer himself. And he tells Adam the key to get out of his restraint is in the bathtub that he woke up in the first place. They play a clip to the beginning of the movie where they see the key going down the drain, so Adam can't get out anymore. We later find out in Saw 3 that one of the apprentices, Amanda, carelessly throws the key into the bathtub. It wasn't supposed to go down the drain.
The killer clown trend might be coming back, and it's gonna be a lot worse this time. Back in 2016, killer clowns were spotted everywhere and causing ruckus in the streets. However, it might be coming back, and it's already a lot worse. There's already been multiple reports of killer clowns waiting outside of schools. And the worst part about it is the clowns are asking the little children to follow them. And if you look closely, this is actually a clown spotting in Singapore of him waiting outside of a school. Now, what would you do if you were in that situation and you saw a killer clown?
Did aliens cause the plague? Some theorists believe that extraterrestrial beings deliberately caused the deadly bubonic plague. They argue that these beings possess unparalleled knowledge about microbiology and genetics, allowing them to engineer the plague with precision. It is suggested that aliens manipulated the genetic material of disease-causing microorganisms, which would have enhanced the strength of the virus and its ability to spread. They may have deliberately contaminated food, clothing, and water supplies, serving as vectors to infect the human population. Another possibility is that they released airborne pathogens with advanced technology to rapidly infect the human population. And I'm sure you're asking, well, what was the motive to alien involvement? Well, some say it was a means of population control. Others say it was to study human behavior and immune responses for scientific research, or that they were trying to intentionally alter human history for some unknown reason. One possible reason is that by causing chaos, they could have influenced human development. Some also say that aliens might view themselves as overseers of cosmic evolution. Aliens might have also initiated the plague to manipulate Earth's resources. Widespread devastation and reduced human population could grant them access to valuable resources, like land, water, or human labor. Do you believe that aliens could have caused the plague? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to come to my Murder Mondays live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be Toronto, Canada time. You can sign up to attend all my lives daily through my videos. You'll see a little live event logo below me.
This is one of the most famous scary stories called the High Beams, and I guarantee after listening to it, you will never want to drive at night again. As a woman was driving down a deserted highway, she noticed a lone pair of headlights quickly approaching her from behind, and when the car came closer, she noticed that it was going to overtake her. The car then came up beside her, but then the driver suddenly swerved back behind her car. She started getting nervous and kept an eye on the strange car in her rearview mirror. He pulled up dangerously close to her rear bumper and began flashing his high beams at her. The headlights dimmed for a moment, but then the high beams flashed again and the car behind her surged forward. The car followed her very closely, and on tight curves or over hills, he would flash his high beams on and off. The frightened woman struggled to keep her eyes on the road and fought the urge to keep looking at the car behind her. Finally, she approached her exit, but the car continued to follow, flashing the high beams again and again. The terrified woman then took out her phone and dialed 911. When the operator answered, the woman screamed into the phone, "A car is following me, he keeps tailgating, and he keeps blinking his lights at me." The woman then gave them her address, and in a few minutes she saw the red and blue lights of the police cars in the distance. She let out a sigh of relief as she pulled into her driveway, but suddenly the strange car pulled into the driveway behind her and began blinking its headlights over and over again. The police car screeched to a halt on the woman's front lawn, and two police officers jumped out with their guns drawn. They pulled the man out of the strange car and forced him to lie face down on the ground. Then they handcuffed him as he screamed, "There's someone in her car! There's somebody in her car!" The two policemen suddenly pointed their guns in the woman's direction and fired. The woman screamed, but when she turned around, she saw the bloody corpse of a murderer who fell out of her back seat. There was a large butcher knife still gripped in his cold, dead hand. The police searched her back seat and found duct tape, a blindfold, and a pair of handcuffs lying there. The woman realized that the man in the strange car had been trying to save her. When the police released him, he explained that he had pulled up behind her car, and his headlights then lit up her back seat, and he seen a man with a butcher knife rising it up behind her. Just as the madman was about to stab her, he flashed his high beams and the figure crouched back down. He then said, "I flashed my high beams every time I saw him raise the knife."
This boy killed his neighbour for TikTok fame and got away with it. When he was 16, Zachary Latham's mum passed away and he went to live with his grandparents. He'd been known to cause trouble and had several assaults on his record, and when he moved areas, this didn't change. He posted regularly on his TikTok about his love for cars, but he started to make enemies in his new area due to his reckless driving. William Durham, a 51-year-old corrections officer, was Zachary's neighbour. He lived with his wife and 2 sons next door. Due to Zachary's behaviour, tensions grew between the Durham family and the Lathams. In April 2020, Zachary got into a confrontation with William's wife, Catherine. She confronted him about his reckless driving, and Zachary filmed the exchange for TikTok. He mocked the woman, calling her a Karen, and the video got over 3 million views. Shockingly, Zachary's followers were actually encouraging his behaviour. They were egging him on to slash her tyres and cause even more trouble. The Durhams had a 21-year-old son called William Jr. When he found out about the video that had been posted online, he confronted Zachary too. However, during that exchange, Zachary threatened him with a knife. The Durhams tried to get police involved, but they just weren't interested. Shortly after this, Zachary intentionally swerved his vehicle, narrowly missing the youngest Durham son. That day, the entire family decided to confront Zachary and put a stop to his behaviour once and for all. That day, Zachary and Catherine got into an altercation in which Zachary hit her in the face and pushed her. The entire Durham family then went round to Zachary's house to confront him. Zachary armed himself with a stun gun and 2 knives. Zachary's wife recorded, presumably for TikTok, as the drama unfolded. A huge brawl erupted and Zachary stabbed William and attempted to stab one of his sons. During the struggle, Zachary took a blow to the head and was concussed. Witnesses reported seeing blood absolutely everywhere. Police attended the scene and sadly, William Durham had passed away. Shockingly, during Zachary's trial this year, he was found not guilty. His defense team stated that
just come out that a shrine for Madeleine McCann was found only months after she went missing. In December of 2007, a couple who were retired had a vacation home in Portugal. They were walking through the same reservoir that the police have just finished searching again, and they found this shrine. The shrine consisted of rocks leading into the water. It makes you wonder, could that be where she is? There was also a picture of Madeleine, flowers, and more stones. Their daughter was actually the person who found it, and she went, "Oh, guys, come here. It looks like someone must have died here." I'm guessing she didn't know that Madeleine was missing. It had only been a few months. And yeah, they assumed that it was a memorial until the parents realized, oh my God, that is the missing girl from the news. The couple informed the Portuguese police back in 2007. They never heard anything back, and the shrine was removed by someone. We don't know who. Now that the German authorities are looking through this reservoir, the couple came forward again and they got proper statements out of them and everything. Who do you think left this shrine? Do you think that maybe it was just a stranger, or do you think they had something to do with the case? And if you're completely unaware who Madeleine McCann is, which I'm sure by now most people know who she is, I can make a whole video on it if you want. This case never fails to baffle me. It's crazy how it's one of the biggest cases ever and we know so little about anything. I have no idea who I think did it, but I would love to hear your theories below. I think that every theory
and believable, which is why it's such a difficult case to look into. It's also really devastating and sad that this little girl has never been found. I would love to hear what you think and what you think about this information. I can't believe no one's heard about this until now. They found this shrine in 2007. It's 2023. But yeah, I would love to hear your theories on what you think happened to Madeleine McCann. Do you think that she's still out there, or do you think that her life ended when she was taken? Or do you think the parents did it? Because the Calpol thing, it kind of makes sense, but also, I don't know. What do you think?
What secrets lie hidden within the vast expanse of Skinwalker Ranch, a place shrouded in tales of supernatural encounters and unexplained phenomena? Skinwalker Ranch, located in the Uinta Basin of northeastern Utah, has long been a source of fascination and intrigue for paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. This enigmatic location has been the stage for reported sightings of UFOs, strange creatures, and unexplainable occurrences that defy conventional understanding. The ranch has become synonymous with mystery, its name invoking a sense of unease and curiosity. What sets Skinwalker Ranch apart are the numerous accounts of eerie happenings, inexplicable lights dancing across the night sky, shadowy figures lurking in the darkness, and eerie disembodied voices echoing through the air. Cattle mutilations and strange crop formations further fuel the speculation surrounding this remote property. The legends and lore surrounding Skinwalker Ranch draw people in, prompting them to question the boundaries of reality and explore the unknown. Scientists, paranormal investigators, and curious individuals have ventured to this place in search of answers, hoping to unlock the secrets that lie within its boundaries. If you enjoy this content, be sure to check out our profile for a free ebook bundle.
Urban Legends from Each State, Part 42, Tennessee. The Bell Witch is a well-known urban legend from Tennessee that began in the early 1800s. The Bell family, who resided in Adams, Tennessee, is central to the narrative. The family allegedly started experiencing strange occurrences and unexplainable noises in their home, which they blamed on an evil spirit that they called the Bell Witch. The witch is said to have tortured the family for years, physically abusing them and even claiming responsibility for John Bell's death. Some people think the Bell Witch is a true story, while others only see it as a folk tale. Regardless, the story has persisted for more than 200 years and continues to intrigue and terrify listeners.
A boat was just out for a cruise when the captain and the passengers saw something that they still can't explain.
Look at that.
I have no idea what that is, but doesn't it look like a little baby Loch Ness monster?
She tried to get away from it, but it kept visiting her. A woman named Kaylin explains that after using the Ouija board, it mysteriously went missing.
A few times when I was living in my condo, the same condo that you'll see on my page, where I had like all those paranormal experiences happen to me. Well, there was this one time we were gonna go to an abandoned building, me and my roommate, and we're gonna use the Ouija board.
But after moving into a new home, she found it inside the bedroom closet. Ever since then, something began to visit her at night. She hears noises from downstairs, so she goes to check. Horrified after hearing something coming up the stairs, she hides in her room.
Oh my god.
Whatever's haunting her seems to just want to watch her sleep.
I am back with the most horrifying paranormal update yet. I'm just kidding. So on this video that this comment is from, I got asked this a lot. I had people message me being like, something is behind you with the Cheshire Cat smile. And I saw those all half asleep this morning, so I immediately went and looked at the video and I was like, dear God, what is that? Nothing but mass panic in my bones. So here's that screenshot, and you can see it over my left shoulder. It's like 2 dots and just like a flat smile. Do you guys see it over there? Like right here. So I accepted the fact that my time was near half asleep this morning, and then I went back again to look at it just now to film the video, and that is my record player. It's kind of hard to tell in the dark. This filter kind of makes everything look darker, but yeah, that's just like the 2 little knobs and then the records underneath it. But I'm not gonna lie, it got me too. It really did get me too. But no smiling man today, unfortunately, but maybe we'll get him next time.
Killer last words, number 7. Albert Fish. Hamilton Howard Fish is known by many names: the Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire, the Moon Maniac, and even the Boogeyman. Fish, who was born in Washington, D.C., changed his name in his youth from Hamilton to Albert due to his disdain for the nickname Ham and Eggs that was given to him at the orphanage he spent most of his time. At the age of 20, he moved from D.C. to New York, where he engaged in heinous acts against young boys. Then in 1898, he married Anna Marie Hoffman, and together they'd have 6 children. She left him in 1917 for another man, and Albert was left alone to care for the children. During his marriage, it is thought that he attacked and mutilated many victims. However, after the divorce, Fish took things up a notch. Fish went on to torture and murder many people, once boasting that he had a child in every state, and that the number of his victims was somewhere around 100. But perhaps most haunting of all was what he did to Grace Budd, a 10-year-old he kidnapped, killed, and later ate. Years later, he sent a letter to Grace's mother describing his actions. This letter proved to be his downfall. The emblem on the letter allowed the investigators to track him down to his rooming house. The lead investigator waited outside Albert's door, and when Albert pulled up, he at first agreed to go with the officer back to the station before pulling a razor blade out. However, the officer quickly disarmed and apprehended Albert. Albert was found guilty of 3 murders, but was suspected of many, many more. Albert Fish was put to death by the electric chair on January 16, 1936. His final words? I don't even know why I'm here.
Whatever you're doing, stop scrolling, because this might just be one of the most compelling Skinwalker videos I've ever seen. Check it out.
Look, track them. There's 2 more black dots. Right, Cody. Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick? What the fuck? What was that?
He's walking creepy.
Dude, that was a skinwalker. What?
Follow him.
I videoed it. What the frick?
So what do you guys think? Was this just a person? Some sort of animal? Or could this have been a skinwalker?
There are many haunted pubs in Australia. However, this one in Melbourne is particularly spooky. These are the ghost stories from our own backyard. So sit down, dim the lights, as I tell you the story of the slit neck lady from the Young and Jackson Hotel. Sitting across from Flinders Street Station, in 1861, the Princess Bridge Hotel was established. It eventually got a name change in 1875 to the Young and Jackson when its new Irish owners took over. You may have gone to the Young and Jackson completely unaware of the spooky sighting that happens at this location. And the haunting actually occurs outside the building. There has been many reports of male patrons noticing a woman standing up against a light post outside the building. She has been described as a very beautiful and alluring young woman dressed in period-style clothing. However, on closer inspection, people say she gets more hideous the closer you get. And then she shows you her neck, with a terrifying slash across her throat. There are no theories on who this spirit is exactly, but people think she may have been one of the murdered prostitutes who worked in the Flinders area in the 19th century. Sadly, these murders were disregarded by the police. Perhaps this is her way of telling the world how she was killed, or she may still be on the...
This painting right here is apparently one of the world's most haunted. The painting in question is known as The Anguished Man, and it's currently owned by this guy here, Sean Robinson. Although he claims that there are many replicas being sold on eBay, he swears that he owns the original one. And the story behind the painting is very creepy. So ever since he was a child, Sean remembered seeing the painting at his grandmother's house. And this story takes us to the area of Cumbria in England. So back when Sean was a young boy, whenever he would go to his grandmother's house, he would find himself just staring at this painting for extended periods of time. He remembers feeling like he was almost hypnotized or under some sort of spell. And eventually, when his grandmother passed away, she left him the painting in her will. So Sean then takes the painting back to his own family house. But that's when things got extremely weird. He said it all began with hearing strange sounds in the middle of the night. Doors would also creak and he would hear strange footsteps. But then things progressed and the family started having horrible nightmares. And they would often wake up to the sounds of what sounded like a man crying in the night. But not only that, the family would also see a dark shadow roaming throughout the house. And whenever they would look back to take a second look, it wouldn't be there. Eventually, Sean began to connect the dots and figured that the painting must have had something to do with all of this strange phenomenon. And that's when he started looking into the history of the painting. And although he was not able to find out who the painter was, he did find out a very strange backstory to the painting. Apparently, the painter had decided to use his own blood and mix it into the paint. He would then go on to create this painting known as the Anguished Man. But sadly, shortly after he completed the painting, he was said to have taken his own life. And the belief is that since he used his own blood in the painting, a part of his soul is still connected to it, which has then led to these creepy hauntings wherever the painting goes, and that the painter of this image has still not been able to cross over. But let me know what you guys think. Is the picture haunted or is it just another hoax? And for more crime, creepy, and unbelievable stories, check out my YouTube for longer format videos. The link is in my bio.
This disturbing game is filled with body horror. With an unsettling content warning out of the way, let's talk about Discover My Body by Yama's Games. Complete playthrough of this experience right here. You play as a med student in the year 2040 examining a patient's body. The patient is undergoing a biological process called flowering, and that's exactly what you're studying. The participant's bones are injected with a fungi that merges their mind with the collective. And not only is this participant a willing one, but they want us to watch them change. You observe the changes in the host's body as it goes through the flowering process, and it is shocking. This transformation is also incredibly painful and it causes them to scream in agony. This game is honestly surreal body horror at its best, and it's just as much a journey into the mind as it is the body.
These two friends were playing the Ouija board when all of a sudden they realized they were being watched by a demon. Pay close attention.
What would you do if you got stuck on an elevator and this happened? Sir, that is an elevator to hell.
Most Terrifying Paranormal Footage Part 16. This footage was reportedly taken from a hospital after the patient had passed away.
Do you see a baby or nothing in the window? If you see the baby, you're part of a small minority that do, and it means that you can see paranormal things. Tell me if you see the baby in the comments.
Let me show you guys a creepy video I just saw.
So I just been here cooking, and I turn around to give one of my kids something from the living room. I come back, and I see this attic door open, and I have not been in the attic in months. Jeremy, get back. And every time I try to go shut it, I keep hearing this knocking sound. It doesn't seem to want to do it now, but like it's every time I go near it, it's not doing it. What the fuck is that?
That user Curtis PG has posted several updates since, Everyone in his comments was saying that it was a squatter. He made an update video saying he went up there, looked around, nobody was up there. So at this point, nobody really knows what's going on. Is it paranormal? Is the squatter good at hiding? Is it staged? Who knows? I hope Curtis and his situation gets better. I'm gonna tag the creator below in the video. You guys should definitely go watch all of his update videos. He has like 6 or 7 of them, I believe. But that knocking sound is very interesting.
There is a haunted ventriloquist doll that haunts the freak room. Mr. Fritz was created by Private Billy Booth, a prisoner of war in Stalag 2B, to entertain his fellow captives. Tragically, Billy was executed weeks before the liberation, but Mr. Fritz survived and was taken home by a fellow POW to be given to Billy's grieving family. Mr. Fritz changed hands from Billy's family to an antique mall in Myrtle Beach, and it was at this juncture that its eerie nature first came to light. The dealer found the display case open each morning and saw Mr. Fritz's eyes and mouth move. Unnerved, the dealer relocated Mr. Fritz to his garden shed, only for his children to report hearing laughter from within. Mr. Fritz now resides in the freak room, and its new owner, Michael Diamond, also witnessed the doll's uncanny antics. The mystery of Mr. Fritz may still lead